Hello everybody, my name is Damon, and welcome back to some more Katawa Shoujo. When we last left off, if you couldn't remember, if this is probably part of the same episode as where we just left off, we had just met Emi, Rin, Lily, Hanako, Shizune, and Misha. We've met everyone. I think that's everyone. And Kenji, obviously, because Kenji is obviously the best character ever. Anyways, the sound of an alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber and into the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up, while making excuses as to why I haven't already. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here for all day. School was surprisingly exhausting after a long pause, and the culture shock still has not faded, I think. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they're gonna let me get away with that easily. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with the talk of exercising as well. So eventually I do rise up, swallow the morning medications, and put on my old soccer clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym classes at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit. I'd order some to cover such a contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they can get a new life this way, a bit like me. After all, if I'm going to start taking care of myself, can't afford to slack around, I'll start from the basics. Basics, which include keeping the rest of my body in shape, along with what little I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I can go back to something approaching a normal life, or at least something where I'm less likely to fall over dead at any minute. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I'm surprised to discover that I'm not the only one present at the track. Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. The prosthetic-legged girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lithely, like a half-mechanical gazelle. What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. You can't remember her name? She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy lope, her prosthetic legs clacking rhythmically on the hard track surface. Wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine, and the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to jog, just like he is oppressing me. Do you not recall where she said that she likes running? Certainly wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my health, and it's prompting me to do so. Even with things being the way they are, it's only because I wanted to get it out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems that my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over.
Good morning. Your name is Hisao, right?
She grins, seemingly pleased that she'd remember my name.
You may not remember me. Emi, I knocked you over in the hall yesterday.
How could I forget such a blunt introduction? Emi has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling.
Yeah, sorry about that, again.
Well, so long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose I'll be fine.
Great!
I'm not sure she realized I was joking. So the spy consultant the nurse was talking about, is that actually you?
That's right.
Oh. I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest.
What? Are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy?
No, this is more like a relief. I was afraid you would have someone to watch my every move. Unless you're here to do exactly that.
No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I'd seen a messy-haired transfer student who looks like he's kind of lost running around the track.
So, why are you down here? Emi strikes a dramatic pose.
Training!
For what?
Track!
Ah, I see. You're on the track team then. Emi nods enthusiastically.
Yep, I'm one of the better runners too.
And modest about it too.
Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know.
I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not even sure I really like running all that much. Plus, I'm just not into organized sports, you know? It's true, I never really even got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. Emi seems to understand my meaning.
I see. Not into that whole organization thing. But now that you're here, I guess we're gonna run it together, huh?
What? Sure, I guess. Emi seems pleased.
Are you gonna warm up?
Real men don't warm up.
Oh no, you should always warm up. Bad as how.
She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer.
I hate warming up too.
She laughs suddenly.
Heck, I don't even have to stretch my legs.
As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic.
Let's go!
So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Emi moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? And something about hitting on the balls of your feet rather than the heels? Oh, you're a 4-foot runner, eh? I like that. I'm a 4-foot runner, but I try to match my stride to Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. Apparently, I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy could help me with that sometime. I'm really not feeling up to more than a couple laps a day, and it's slow to a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running, and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanor.
Finished already?
I hang my head ruefully. Yeah, I'm not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods and thinks at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling.
Well, the important thing is you started, right? Next time, you just have to try to hold out longer, and then longer, and longer, and eventually you'll be great!
I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now I'm gonna go get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs unconcernedly.
Nah, I've got plenty of time.
I notice that she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug.
Not really, but I gotta finish my routine. See you later, Hisao.
Yeah, see ya. I'm not sure whether this morning's experiment was a success or failure, but I'll admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And, like Amy said, I just need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice to at least feel like I've taken some semblance of control over my own health. I'll have to try to keep this up. I head back to the dorms to wash and change in my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long and hot shower. Let's, look at this. In the daylight now. Looks pretty interesting. Not really sure what I'm looking at, but, that's okay. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind. But I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. Oh god, here we go. Out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating malicious intent. It bursts through the fog.
Stop! What are you doing here? What the hell, you scared me? What's your problem? I have to be asking you that. I've been looking all over the place for you, man.
What do you mean, all over the place? When I ask who's been looking at me like that, stark naked, but I hold my tongue back. I finally realize I'm still naked too, and quickly hold up my shirt in front of me. But Kenji doesn't seem to notice a thing. His glasses are fogged up, but then, why doesn't he wipe them off? Is his vision so bad that he's like perpetually seeing through fog?
You know, your room, and yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still had to get up though. Whatever, it's not important. Can I borrow some money?
He puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look very casual. It doesn't work. He's as transparent as his window pane sized glasses. Talking neutrally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually, somehow it's even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't see me being naked, to say nothing of the fact that he's naked as well. I try to brush the feeling off, with little success. Money? Sure. Awesome! Wait, why do you need it?
Can't you just give it to me because I had a goodwill not to run through your pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercised restraint. And in the end, isn't that the thought that counts? Come on, be your pal.
This makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I should withhold payment. Since his thoughts were clearly so impure, and his intentions are probably even more sinister since he can't tell me what they are, I say much to him.
I'm offended, man. But if that's your game, then fine. I guess I have no choice. I want to order a pizza, and I already have most of the cost for the pizza. I just need your help for the rest.
I get some of the pizza too, right?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I would give you some, but you have class. You don't have time to eat pizza.
What about you?
I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and pay the guy, and then eat it. It's not easy. You have to obtain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you, and the pizza, and they will ask for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece, and then you're left pizzaless in an unforgiving world. It's happened before, that's how I know. Every day, I plan my vengeance, so that when the people who wrong me order pizza, I will be there, ever vigilant.
Kenji strikes a dramatic pose, completely without irony. But yeah, I only need like 400 yen. Please, you're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza. It's too far. I try not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened the last time I went out without carefully planning it out in advance. I was outside. I can't remember what I was doing. Something? Standing. Maybe wondering how I got out there. And then, out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning, splitting the sky,
Like how you split a sandwich into 2 equal pieces to make it more manageable to hold and eat. A bird crapped on my head. It was the second most shocking moment of my life. It was the first. He ignores me and keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that. Even it's more likely he just didn't hear me. It was like the opening to some kind of anime show. You know how there's always that one part where the main dude is fighting his rival, and they fly at each other, and clash swords, and there's like a big dramatic colored auras and zoom. It was like that, but with poo. Okay. So yeah, I need money, please. Don't let me hang you, man. I only need like 1,000 yen. I thought it was 400. Okay. What? I'll pay you back, I swear. You better. That's what it means to borrow stuff. I don't know when I'll ever be able to pay it back. You have 1 week. Kenji winces and makes noise that sounds like a dying cow. Particularly disturbing fact given that his baton is conducting freely. You're not supposed to be tight-assed about money between brothers and ours, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Did you know that male porn stars only make about half of what female porn stars make? That doesn't mean anything unless you're a porn star. So maybe I am a porn star on the side, struggling to make ends meet as I fight the feminist agenda. And you can't even spot me your crumbs, you bastard. Nobody understands. Nobody. Wouldn't feminists be against pornography in the first place? Is feminist agenda stuff again? This stuff is important. I can see that you don't give a shit, but this is serious here. Feminists are a dangerous enemy. Make no mistake. You take them lightly, and you'll wake up in the morning with a knife in your back. Bam! Out of nowhere. How do you wake up in the morning if someone stabbed you in your sleep? Well, I'm not terrible at stabbing things. I thought you just said you don't take them lightly. Well, I mean, don't take them lightly for the big things. Individually, they're not a threat. But if there was some kind of war, like a big war, with men on one side and the feminist forces on the other side, it'll get pretty ugly. And that day will come, when the feminists come out of their central top-secret worldwide feminist headquarters and say, "It's on now, motherfuckers." You're being ridiculous. There's no big worldwide feminist headquarters building. Where would they even hide that? I mean, it'd have to be massive. You couldn't hide that on Earth. Someone would notice a big fortress with only women in it. Who said it was on Earth? I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in the mirror, so that I can figure out what kind of frown would best express my emotions. He can't see me from this distance anyway. Which, unfortunately, means that he just keeps on ranting without any regard to sensibility. Yeah, there is a war going on. A war not many know about, but it's a great one that will one day boil over and encompass all of the known world. Then, we will have to pick sides. We will have to make a stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine it, the bloody battlefield, a vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up when I thought this cause was silly, when I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight, when I mistook the time that the power went out for a feminist raid and thought the end was near. But then I realized that if I gave up, it would all be over, and I was like, whoa, and knew that I had to get serious, because I am the last sane man in an insane world. It's about duty. Must be a pretty crappy movement if it all hinges on one naked guy ranting in a bathroom at another naked guy. So can I have the money? He's blocking the way out. It's getting cold because I'm still naked, and I want to go to class, so I agreed to spot him the money. Awesome, thanks dude. We should go bowling later on. Bowling? Yeah, it's the ultimate sport. There are almost no woman bowlers either, making it also the manliest sport. Is that what my pink bowling shirt with matching shoes, or the pastel green with flower accents? Or bowling clothes? Maybe. Anyway, you better pay me back. I could pay you back in stuff, right? I don't have the time to ask him to elaborate on what that means. I don't know. I have to get out in class. You're kind of in the way. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't want to hold you up. And I have some stuff to do myself. The time has come. And for what? I just like saying that. Okay, now the time's really come. For what? I have to use the bathroom. Get out of it. I was just going to. What does that mean? It's a big bathroom. So? And I have to be alone or I can't go. The presser. Okay, what if someone else comes in? Ugh. I'll think of something. I give him my practice frown, and it looks kind of silly reflecting in his glasses. He either doesn't notice or doesn't see. Anyway, so I get dressed and run back to my room, feeling as though an eternity has passed since I woke up. Holy hell, Kenji. That is time I will never get back. I'll get him for this somehow. But right now, I have to get to class. Oh boy, I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. Then again,
Sitting alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. A combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel very tired. I black out for a second, waking up when my head hits the surface of my desk, rubbing my forehead. I realize this is a good reason as to any to stay up for now and stop coming to class early later. Eventually, I hear a tapping noise outside the hallway, and Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps in on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar, as if it was of importance to look prim when entering our classroom. "Excuse me," she calls into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence might unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. "Good morning, Lily." Sal? Good morning, I didn't hear you come in." Wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely. If I were to tell too big a lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now. "Oh, have you seen Hanako today by any chance?" "No. She seems to come in only just before the bell rings, nor after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you?" "No, it's fine. It's strange. But I think we're the only two people in this school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here." "I shouldn't have gone up so early today, I guess." "You're chastising yourself for something other people should do. Punctuality is a good thing. I think so anyway." "It's a very busy morning today. The festival is coming up soon, and today is the deadline for event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that's why it's so quiet today." Hi! Misha pops into the room with Shizune as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch. "Hi, He-chan!" "Hi." "Look, it's the class representative. Hello!" Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha's nor Shizune's use of the word look. "Good morning." "Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? "I'm not." Lily seems a little more guarded in her answers to Shizune than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Then I realized that Lily might actually not know Shizune is present, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she's talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha. But knowing that she and Shizune are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizune to be the one who actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decide to help Lily out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. "You're here early, Shizune." You were here even earlier than us!" Misha puffs out her cheeks angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizune's behalf too? It's not that weird, though, that Shizune didn't like my little comment. It's true, I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I can start weighing on whether or not I should apologize, Shizune has already moved on. "Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. The festival's coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their projected budget reports for their events, even the first years, except you." There's still time to hand it in, isn't there? Today! The deadline is today! You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I'd have all the necessary paperwork days ago. But someone had to say, "The deadline, please extend it." Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale is not a small task. In a week is too small a time frame to expect a whole class to work out such a complex issue completely. Do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds for one class event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school, and then some. The one who does that is me. Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she is really getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused, though. Hey, Shizune, aren't you being a little hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, Hisao, it's alright. Lily seems to be happy that I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, then I'm disappointed you think I've forgotten about it. I understand how important it is. Then, can I have it, please? Shizune, she might not have it on her at this exact second. It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me. Students from my class. She emphasized the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Shizune and Misha's efforts to throw me into the student council. I guess word must have gone around, so now she's using me as ammo against Shizune. This just gets better and better.
It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just be delegating away. As class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible. They completed it, being capable of doing so. But the students have been sick recently, so that they could not come to school and give it back to me. If you want, I'll apologize on their behalf for getting sick. Okay.
Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, Shizune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge.
Lily, don't they live here at the school? That's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop off something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class?
Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts signing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal.
And what's with that attitude? I said it's not something you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative, aren't you? Tell me the names of those 2 students. They should have your job if you can't even handle something as simple as yourself. One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of.
Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she's doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettled she is becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers cheerfully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither hear nor see how excited she is.
Of course, you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you.
Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without even a hint of the sarcasm which they were meant to have. Shizune and Lily don't like each other. That much is clear, but this seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. Oh god! I forgot about this.
I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. That would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right. The difference between us is like heaven and hell.
And it's not that hard to guess which one you might represent. The air between them ripples with the heat of their enmity. Enmity? Well, not really. They can't really disguise it anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation.
Hee-chan, don't you slack off either.
What are you talking about?
Aren't you taking part in the festival, Hee-chan? You are, aren't you? Then, I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure this goes smoothly than this person.
I don't understand why Shizune is suddenly getting mad at me. I don't know why why I have to save here. I already know the answer here. Hey, come on, cut me and Lily some slack. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much, even if I wanted.
That's right. You shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into this on his first week.
Lily taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decided to back her up too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with us both.
Excuses. Miss Class Rep has had plenty of time to deal with her reports. And we repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success.
Yes, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if... I don't have the time for this right now. No matter what I do, it will mean being drawn into a confrontation with Shizune, and that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I turn my back at them. Lily, class is going to be starting soon, so we can talk more later. I'll tell Hanako you're looking for her. I can feel Shizune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she's ever been ignored in such a blunt manner.
Thank you, Hisao. I'll leave now then.
She gives me the sweetest smile I've seen all week, and turns on her heels to make her exit. As soon as Lily walks out the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about turning to face Shizune. I can feel her eyes burning into my back, and can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to alleviate the tension, but it really is wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and listen to the sound of Shizune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Well, get wrecked, Shizune. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I had to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do, despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. Teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes. Instead, opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they're right there in the textbook. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while reviewing what we covered in class. Today, I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with the crowding in the hallways. I notice Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune is signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Maybe there's pent up anger in there. Misha's trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it's like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on top of that, she has to sign back everything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished, and the girls sit down on their seats again. I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on the desk, looking exhausted. I'll use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit, without getting roped into the student council thing again, though I suspect that door is now closed for me. Good! This preparation must be tough for you two. Indeed, the people in this school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kinda neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me at first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but in the end she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signed with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translate her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it is almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously. Well, of course, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all of our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generation if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws, no... I think that was encumbrances? No, nothing that would make the festival short of perfect. Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting for them. Oh, hello.